All right, so fair warning, this is a longer video. Somebody says America is an ideal. It is not a country. So when somebody says this, we have a problem right from the jump. There's an issue with this because to say America is not a country is fallible. It's fallacy. It is Dunning-Kruger effect. It is what it is. It's cognitive dissonance. Somebody's trying to say you can have your cake and eat it too, even though that expression doesn't really make sense, but you guys know what I mean. Problem with this is that there's actually something called Black's Law Dictionary, in which if you have any legal case, you're using terminology, etymology, phraseology, even at times from Black's Law Dictionary. So we can simply look up what American is, what an original American was, and what now American has become. An original American is, in fact, a copper-colored person who is indigenous to America. That's why when I say I'm Cherokee, I'm saying I'm American. I'm a real one. I'm an original one, right? Before somebody changed the definition of an American. Now, when did the definition of American change? Well, there was this little thing called the Boston Tea Party. They took a bunch of tea off. They said that we need, as slave owners, we need to make sure that we throw away the shackles of the suppressive system that causes us to pay taxes. You know, something that would later become three-fifths compromise, which would make black people not even people so that they could only have to pay taxes, three-fifths on what this property was, these non-people. And these people, when they did the Boston Tea Party, they dressed themselves in copperface or blackface, if you will, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. And when they did this, they said that we're now the Americans. We killed off and took over what the Americans had. Now we're changing the definition so that we can become, legal here. We can say that we're the original, we're the indigenous. So we, the indigenous people, are fighting against the Englishmen, even though they were Englishmen dressing up as indigenous, right? And that basically gets us to a thing today. If you look up Confederacy, by the way, and what a Confederacy actually is, you'll find out that that's all the Confederates did too, because Confederacy basically cannot be a Confederacy unless it's a group of indigenous native people. So when somebody today hits those same notes, right, is in the same range, is doing the same song and dance, so to speak, as those that came before him and doesn't even realize it, that's when we talk about cognitive dissonance. It might be because you don't know it, but at the end of the day, you have competing ideas. As a matter of fact, it's not even ideas because you mentioned the term idealist. That's right. An idea is something based off of fact. An ideal, by definition, means that you're making up things to support your narrative. So the narrative that America is an ideal, right, doesn't even make sense because you're saying that the narrative is the narrative. America is a narrative, which means you're saying that America is not real. But if you were to be honest, the Constitution of the United States is an ideal, a fake narrative, a corporation, versus the Constitution of the United States of America that's actually supposed to be something to protect the natural man. So in a sense, I guess you're right. But the reality is you're not really on point. Thank you, though. Hope you have a great